Welcome back. Well, today we have a special show for you. We have Supervisor Lisa Bartlett and we have Dr. Nicole Quick from the Orange County Health Department. And we are going to discuss the reopening of our Orange County area, as well as testing and some things that you need to take into consideration. Well, ladies, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you taking the time.
Sure. Thank you.
Now, Lisa, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about some of the concerns that I think, that have been discussed very heavily in the media is our closing of our beaches and then the reopening of the beaches. Can you kind of address sort of what happened there?
Yes. So when you talk about the entire California coastline, counties have come up with different active recreation plans, but a number of the beaches within Orange County of our 42 miles of coastline were still remaining fully open. And the governor saw some photos with people not social distancing on the beach, not wearing facial coverings, and felt that something needed to be done. And so he implemented a temporary closure just on Orange County beaches because we were the county that was non-compliant. And we all felt that was really punitive, but instead, in some of the counties around us put in active recreation plans, and we said, look, we want our beaches open. We want them open for active recreation. People are tired of getting cooped up at home, and it's going to be healthier for them to be out in public and being able to breathe the fresh air, walk on the sand, get out and go in the ocean. And so we started immediately working, or at least I did, on working on an active recreation plan with the cities. So I worked with the 3 coastal cities in my district, San Clemente, Dana Point, and Laguna Beach, and they were all on board. They submitted their own individual plans as well, because that was going to get approved faster. And we now have a county-wide plan for active recreation that just got approved this morning in the state level of the governor's office. So I'm happy to report that. We'll be sending out a press release within the hour, letting everybody know that along our Orange County coastline, we are open for active recreation. So walk on the sand, jog, run, come down and go out for the ocean activities. But continually keep moving, and whenever possible, wear your face coverings to protect yourself and everyone else in public. But get out and exercise. It's good for the mind and for the body and soul.
Exactly. Now, does that mean it's just those 3 areas, or it's all of Orange County beaches?
We now have plans for Huntington Beach and Newport Beach.
Okay.
They have plans that have been approved at the state level as well. And I think Seal Beach has a plan approved as well. Okay. So we're really excited about this because it pretty much covers the entire coastline of our 42 miles now in Orange County.
Wonderful. Now, will that mean that they're going to remove all the cones and everything so you can park down there, or do you still have to park far away?
Okay, parking lots are still going to be closed, but restrooms will be open.
How about shuttle service? Because we got to park like 3 blocks away.
I know. Well, that's getting more exercise.
Oh, there you go. No, well, that's good news. Thank you so much for doing that, because I think you're right. I mean, people need fresh air, and there really isn't anything for our young people to do who are out of school, and at least they can go down there and throw the football around or do whatever. I mean, obviously keeping distance and stuff, but walking, and that's wonderful to hear. Well, thank you for doing that. Appreciate it. Now, what are some other things that we're looking at? I know the economy, and we had talked a little bit about beforehand about reopening some things. Where does that stand?
Okay, well, the governor is working on a reopening plan, and that is going to include businesses moving into stage 2 for reopening. So what that means is certain businesses in the past that weren't able to reopen, clothing stores and bookstores and sporting goods and florists and so on, will be able to open in stage 2 for delivery and for curbside pickup.
Okay.
And then we hope to move restaurants into a later part of that phase, the dine-in portion of it. But right now it's just takeout and delivery for restaurants. So everything is going to be in a phased fashion, and we're trying to work as quickly as possible with the governor to move as many businesses as we can into the different phases so that we can reopen our economy as quickly as possible. You know, there's been a number of folks that have been furloughed or laid off. We've got a lot of WARN Act notices at the county with companies that are closing or layoffs, and the unemployment rate could potentially be between 16 and 20% when all of this is said and done. So we want to get the economy jump started and get businesses back open as soon as possible, get people back to work. It's going to be good for everyone, because right now we were also heading into a recession, and then we got COVID-19 issues to deal with. So it's been a double whammy, and people are getting to the point now where they're tired of being home and they really want to go back to work. They want to go back to their businesses. They want businesses to open again. So we're really pushing and looking forward to getting as many of those businesses opened up as quickly as possible.
Yeah, I know. I know it's kind of like a catch-22, right? Because, Nicole, you're dealing with a health crisis, and then we've got an economy crisis. So it's really tough to sort of balance the two. And you want to be protected. You want to protect everyone, but again, you have to do it safely. Lisa, in regards to some of the smaller businesses, if you're just going to do a curbside pickup type thing, how does that work with retail?
It's very challenging, because I know a lot of people want to go in, and when you go into a clothing store, you want to be able to touch the fabric and you want to see if it's going to fit by holding it up and trying it on. So it's going to be a little challenging, but I think people are getting used to the new norm. I've been going online to the various retailers, whether it's Talbot's or even Amazon, and ordering things online. The return policies are very simple. So don't hesitate to just get online, order dresses or skirts or whatever you want. And if they don't fit or you don't like them, very easy return policy to send things back.
Okay. All right. Good to know. Now, some of these big box companies have been open, like Walmart and Target. And granted, I understand that they have food, but then you've got Lowe's and Home Depot. And the argument is, well, gosh, if they can be open, then why can't my company be open?
Right. And I think where it goes to definitions with the governor's order, his executive order states that if you're an essential worker or you're part of the essential workforce, you can remain open. And so the reason Lowe's and Home Depots are open is because the building trades are part of that essential workforce. And so people need to go in to get supplies, hammers, nails, that type of thing. Right. So that's where I know the public sometimes gets confused. But if they're part of the essential workforce and essential businesses, those businesses can remain open right now.
Okay. All right. Good. And then one thing that I think's been really great about our community is they have done such a good job of wearing their masks, staying at home. They've been great and doing their social distancing. So the numbers look really good.
Absolutely. I want to compliment everybody in Laguna Woods for doing a phenomenal job. When our policies and procedures came out to be safer at home, they stayed at home. If you're going out to the grocery store, you wear a mask. And the Laguna Woods residents have been phenomenal about adhering to that. And that's why the COVID-19 numbers are very, very low in Laguna Woods. So congratulations to Laguna Woods residents for doing such a phenomenal job.
Well, thank you very much, Lisa, for the update on the governor. And we look forward to hearing more, because I know everybody's very anxious about getting back to some kind of new norm, whatever that might be. So thank you. Now, Dr. Quick, let's talk a little bit about some of the things that we've been talking about. Now, as we mentioned, the numbers are very low in Laguna Woods and just in Orange County as a whole. So can you, before we go into talking about some testing, can you kind of address some of the numbers and why you think that has been such a great thing for the Orange County area?
Sure. So I would like to also start by reiterating our thanks for all of the citizens in Orange County who have really taken the governor's order and the state health officer order seriously and have listened and have stayed home and have practiced good physical distancing and those basic public health measures of staying home when you're ill, washing hands frequently. And I really think that our numbers reflect the good job that our county has done. I also think part of our numbers are due to the fact that we do have a very good healthcare system in Orange County, and we are seeing a lower case fatality rate than other places in the surrounding area. I do want to also point out that we were one of the first in the U.S. to have a case, and we really messaged strongly all these public health measures, and I think our citizens listened. So I think there was an element of early action by the Board of Supervisors as well as the citizens in Orange County to respond to this and to respond in a meaningful way. We do tend to have good health health outcomes in Orange County compared with California. And I would expect that to continue with COVID. We have a relatively healthy population and we have a good healthcare system, which I think has contributed to our situation that we're in today. I also do want to be careful that people continue to follow these basic public health measures that are going to be even we start to some stay-at-home orders. We need people to continue to physical distance and to wash hands. That's going to be critical as we move forward.
Wonderful. Well, thank you. Yes, I will say that we follow the numbers on a regular basis, and they're always, I mean, they tick up every once in a while. And of course, that is going to be something that we're going to be dealing with, is the number of cases. But isn't that really because we have more testing available?
Sure, that I do want to talk about testing numbers for a moment here. In general, the more we test, we are likely to pick up more cases. I also think it's expected that as we lessen some of these stay-at-home orders, get more businesses up and operating, get some more people out and about, we are likely to see more test numbers. One of the criteria that we look at, which you can see on our website, is the number of positive tests per number of tests we're doing. And we want that number to be below 10%. Ours, as of today, is at 7.3%. So that's a measure of how many total positive tests out of all the tests we're doing in Orange County. If that number stays below 10%, that's showing us that we're adequately testing. So I think that's important. But I do think it's important for individuals to understand, as more people are out and about, we are expecting to see more cases.
So let me ask you, I mean, in comparison to, New York, I mean, my goodness, they got hit so hard. And I know that the concentration of people is so much tighter in that area. And then you mentioned health as a whole in Orange County. We're kind of a healthier group. So are you saying that more people in Orange County may not have the comorbidities that the people in New York do?
It's really hard to make a comparison at this point and to really point to a good explanation as to why California has not looked like New York. We're thankful for it here. There's probably a number of factors. One of those you touched upon, I think potentially the urban crowding in New York is more significant than what we see here. And I also want to go back to what we have both, the supervisor and myself have both said. We really want to credit the individuals in Orange County for listening to the stay-at-home order and taking this seriously and doing their part. I think that is a piece of why we have seen decreased number of cases and decreased number of deaths here.
Well, that's great. Okay, so let's go into some of the testing. COVID-19 testing is now more available. Can you touch on where and how that's going to work?
Absolutely. So we are working in Orange County to expand COVID testing for individuals. I would like to refer people to our healthcare agency website. I'm going to give the web address slowly here. That's www.ochealthinfo.com/novel coronavirus. When you go to our website, there is a testing and screening page that you can go to. It has clinics in the county where individuals can go. I want to make it very clear that the testing available here is the PCR testing, or the molecular testing. That is the testing that's the most reliable for detecting a current viral infection. Okay. Individuals who do not have health coverage or their insurance doesn't cover it can get this service free of cost through these test sites. We would ask individuals who have insurance to call their provider first for testing, and if they are able to get testing through their provider, that is preferred. But individuals can go to this page, they can call in and get a screening done and see if they qualify for testing, and we encourage people to go to that website. The state is also opening up testing sites throughout California, including Orange County. We have 2 testing sites that are available. We hope to get more in the coming days. I'm going to give you that website as well. That is covid19.ca.gov. Individuals can go there as well to find out information about the state testing sites.
Oh, that's great. I mean, I think we've all been wondering, how this is going to be happening. So I'm glad that you guys were able to secure some tests that, how long does that test take?
Sure. So the test sample itself is a pretty fast test that involves putting a swab into the nasal cavity. And then that, depending on where you get the test done, the turnaround time could be anywhere from about 1 to 3 days in general. So it's a pretty fast, rapid turnaround time for these tests.
Yeah. So that's shortened quite a bit than what it used to be.
Absolutely.
And then can you talk to me a little bit about antibody testing? Because I know that was something that was discussed in reopening some of these businesses and how that works. Do we have any more information on those?
So a serology test measures an individual's body's response to an exposure to COVID-19. When you get exposed to a virus, your body produces antibodies, and we can test for those antibodies. Serology testing for COVID-19 is available through commercial labs at this point. I would encourage individuals who are interested in that to contact their medical providers. What is not clear at this point with COVID-19 is whether or not an individual who has antibodies to it, whether or not they'll be immune to a future infection. We're all hopeful that they'll have some protection against COVID in the future, but at this point, because COVID-19 is such a new disease that we're dealing with, we're not sure on that. That being said, it's important for individuals, even if they have a positive COVID antibody test, to continue to practice those public health measures that I spoke about before, such as the physical distancing, staying home if you're ill, making sure that you cover your coughs and sneezes, and of course, washing your hands.
Right, and like we mentioned before, everybody seems to be doing a really good job. And we handed out, I don't know, 20,000 masks here in our community. So there should be no excuse for anyone not to wear a mask when needed. So it's been great for our community. And like you mentioned, all of Orange County's really done a very good job. And, Lisa, I'm really glad that you were able to get the beaches reopen, like we said, because it's so important for people to get their vitamin D and get outside because we've all been cooped up. And then in regards to that, Nicole, we are going to be outside. We are going to try and redo what we've lost over the last 8 months. What is your advice, moving forward for us to be out and about? We don't want to worry all the time, but what are some things that you would recommend?
Sure, we want people to be empowered to take precautions against this virus as well as others. So that physical distancing is going to be critical. And I've said it before, I'm going to say it again. One of the best public health measures we have against disease is washing your hands. So wash your hands frequently. Try your best not to touch your face, and all of those things that we talk about. Once again, really important as we move forward. If you're feeling ill, stay home as to not expose others to anything that you potentially have.
Right. And Lisa, any last comments?
A couple of things. So 3 things. The state has offered a Great Plates program for some of our seniors that qualify. So for those seniors who live at home and they're not able to create their own meals, and it has to do with COVID-19. So there are some criteria that have to be met, but it amounts to getting additional meals delivered to those seniors through our current Meals on Wheels program.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So for South County, it would be Age-Well Senior Services. And we're expanding that program through June. And it's a great program for those seniors that meet the criteria. So if anybody's interested, go on to 2110C, contact my board office, and we'll get you connected for the screening process to see if they qualify and if they can get those special meals delivered to them during this crisis. Excellent. And then also, if anyone has any additional questions on COVID-19, there is a county hotline, which is 833-426-6411. And people are welcome to call the hotline to get their questions answered. And so I highly recommend, if they've got any question, call the hotline if you're in doubt about anything.
Okay.
And then finally, this Sunday is Mother's Day. And as we celebrate the special occasion this year, it's going to be a little bit different for a lot of families. A lot of them are going to have virtual celebrations, but do celebrate. That's the important thing. Get out there, and if you just have to get on the computer and have a Zoom celebration with your family, by all means do it. It's better than no celebration at all. Yeah. So I just want to wish all the mothers and grandmothers and aunts out there in Laguna Woods and in the 5th District a very happy Mother's Day, and stay safe and healthy.
Wonderful. And Nicole, any last words?
I would say the same thing. Happy Mother's Day. And once again, I hope everybody stays well.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, both of you, for taking the time. I really appreciate it. You guys are doing a great job for our county. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back after this.